Well, hello, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the show this evening. It's a spice, people. We have sporty spice, bad spice, and old spice. How we doing, Linda, Jaffa, and Bridgeman?
Evening, Ox, there. Evening, Jaffa and Bridgeman. Evening to all the listeners. I hope you're all well.
Evening, Ox. How are you? Evening, Linda, and evening, Bridge. Thanks for having us on Rangers Radio.
Well, can I just say a big good evening to yourself, Ox Chair, and of course the techie boys in the background, and my two cohorts there, Linda and Jaffa, and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Just for the record, Jaffa, you won the sporty spice, all right?
I know my place.
Hey, how we doing, Linda? Ladies first.
Yeah. Very well, Ox, thanks. Yep. It's amazing what a nice win at the weekend can do to cheer you up, and Rangers didn't ruin our weekends.
Your Colts go back next week. Is that you moving into the Dominoes season?
Oh no, I'm afraid I'll leave that to my dad.
How are you, Jaffa?
Not bad, Ox. Yep. As Linda says, amazing what a good result does at the weekend, doesn't it? Looking forward to the show and looking forward to hearing what some of the Bears have got to say that phone in tonight, get their opinions and hear their thoughts on the weekend's game and how they see the future panning out for Big Phil and what the game that we've got on Thursday, Ox.
All right. How are you, Mr. Bridge? Come off of mute now. Come off of mute.
Yeah, I'm doing very well. Thank you very much, Ox Chair. And thoroughly enjoyed the game and looking forward to the chat tonight. Looking forward to it.
Good, mate. Good. Right, obviously we'll start with the new manager. What's your first impressions, Linda?
As we said last week, he just looks like a real proper football guy, doesn't he? He's quite measured. In his approach, he's questioning and quite calm as well. Not getting too carried away with anything. And I just feel that I don't know. As I say, you don't want to get too carried away, but it feels different this time definitely from Michael Beale anyway, Ox. I've been impressed by him, but it is very much early doors. But you can only kind of comment on what you see, and as I say, he just looks like a proper football guy that knows what he's talking about.
Jaffa, as Fox used to say to me when he was standing at Bootsy's corner, first impressions count for a lot.
Absolutely, Ox. First impressions do count. It's obviously, as Linda says, it's early days, Ox. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. But the guy's come in, and I think he clearly knows his stuff. He's got an idea of what he wants to do. He's got a definitive plan of how he wants the team to play and the structure of the team and the football club in general. So, as Linda says, you can only comment on what you see and what's in front of you, Ox, and without getting too excited or this is a saviour or anything like that, and start we're going to do this and going to do that. He just needs to win football matches, and he had a great start at the weekend. And a lot more football matches he wins, Ox, starts racking it up, the more confidence he'll breed within the team, and that'll be the best measure you can have of him, and we can have of him as fans as well.
Quick question to you, Jaffa, just before we carry on. Quick one. Yeah, he's come in, obviously got a wee bit of pedigree behind him. He would have been somebody that was linked with several jobs. I mean, all right, this came to your club. In your humble opinion, Jaffa, you did say last week you spoke with the investors. How important is that to you?
Oh, massive, Fox, massive. Because they're on board with him then. So the guys behind the scenes, in the club, the guys that are putting the money in and put a lot of money into our club, they're on board with him, and obviously have had a say in the decision making. And I think that's a really clever move, to be honest with you, both from Philip Clement's point of view, to speak to the people behind the scenes, and obviously I know, he spoke at length with John Bennett and Bisgrove on a number of occasions. I think it's massive, Fox. I really do, and I think that's obviously we're trying to get everybody on board, and we're trying to set a standard that everybody's operating in the same, to get the same goal within the club, no matter who they talk to in the club, whether it be, for the guys and the support that do all this stuff, and all the employees, but also the people that are running the club and us as fans, and getting that synergy between all of us. Because it's a powerful movement when you get that, and when you've not got that, that's when, we've seen the way we had problems with Michael Beale from very early on. So I think that's a great move, and I think it's a very smart move.
Bridgeman, first impression?
I thought the manager looked smashing, to be honest with you. Nice kitted out with his suit and tie. I liked that. I think the players looked up for the game when they first started. And I saw that our left back took a wee knock, or got a wee knock, or whatever, and had to go off in 10 minutes. And I was disappointed in that. But they took him off possibly I think you mentioned a bit earlier, possibly for the European timeline. But after that, we looked good.
Back to the manager, but we haven't started the game yet.
We looked good, and I think the manager was extremely happy the way the players responded to his training hints and so on and so forth. All the way through, he was giving them loudly, giving them support. I thought it was excellent. I'm really impressed by him. Really impressed.
Right, I thought he was, Linda. I'll come to you, Linda. I thought he said all the right words, but talks cheap. And then when I seen his team, we weren't expecting revolution. We were expecting evolution. Boy, surprised me. Yeah, our front players are Wright, Dessers, Lammers, and Seema. Yeah, and ultimately he got it right.
Yeah, I don't think anybody had Lammers and Dessers in the team. That would have been our choice, although we did say that there's a possibility they would play because of what was available to them. I just think that when the team came up and we saw that Lammers and Dessers were there was a few groans, and there was a few messages exchanged. Probably everybody's the same, goodness is why is he starting them again? But yeah, he was ultimately right. And he did say, and he's really quite quick to emphasise this, that he's picking a team from what's available to him. He's said that on numerous occasions. But yeah, ultimately he did get it right, albeit Ox, I don't think we wanted to see either of them in the team on Saturday.
Yep, it was a surprise, but it was a shock, but no surprise, Jaffa, yeah.
But yeah, because I think, as he said in the build-up and some of the pressers and stuff like that, Oxy, obviously, there's still a lot of injuries going on in the background, and he was trying to get players that were fit. And I noticed that was something that he emphasised, that it was fit players he was looking for, who was capable of playing, whether it be 70 minutes or 80 minutes. Because obviously I think he made a point that there was some of the players that he felt were still, they just weren't anywhere near fitness levels that they could get a start. So that's why we saw Scott Wright and Lammers and Dessers, because obviously they're fit. I like everyone else, Ox, I was a bit disjointed when I saw the team, because I thought, we're going over the old ground here, but as I'm sure we'll debate as the show goes on tonight, obviously that didn't materialise, and ultimately he got the right result. So that's where you get your trust, and that's where he gets the fans' trust in the manager, because you've got to then trust him to choose the right team.
Okay, so great reception from our new manager, Philip. Come on, I like to cut his jib, as the saying goes, Linda.
Yeah.
He picked a team that, as I say, was a surprise, no a shock, with the personnel that was available. So we started the game on the front foot. It was an open game of football, yeah.
Yeah.
Hibs played an expansive game, didn't trouble as much. Maybe the best sort of chance maybe came for a throw-in, a long throw-in.
Yeah, Ox, that was the one that I think it ended up at the back post. There was one before that, I think, that Connor Golson cleared right to their player, and he had the shot that Butland saved.
Never really troubled Big Jack, yeah.
Yeah, but that one that you're talking about did come from the long throw, and We didn't defend it well initially because I think the flick on went to the back post, but Tav did brilliant to block the boy's shot. I don't know what Hibs player it was. That was really good defending by Tav. So I can't think of anything else in the rest of that half, Ox, that they had any chances at all.
Yeah, that was about it. That was one concern. And I'm not putting here a wee bit, Jaffa. John Souttar, who I like, and I thought he had a decent game. Sometimes he's got a habit of getting under the ball, yeah.
Yeah.
It's something he's got in his game. I think he done it 3 times at the weekend. Now, hopefully, just to put it down a bit of rustiness, and he can get out there again. You know, he's that competitive and he goes for everything, but when he's under it and you can't reach it. So he's just got to take half a step back and make sure he's not under it, Jaffa.
But it's a bit like, you know, when you see forwards, Ox, it's not very often you see defenders doing that, and I think that's probably why we're all spotting it. When we John Souttar, and like you, Ox, I think Big John Souttar's a great defender. I think he's got a lot to offer, and he reads the game very well. But you know, with forwards, Ox, when they dive in at a shot, or you know, they can't get the composure. And I'm not for a minute saying Big John hasn't got composure, but it's as if he jumps in too quickly, as if he should just maybe take an extra tenth of a second just to think about his timing and his jump, or keeping his eye on the ball. As you say, I'm not sure which one it is, Ox, but I noticed he created a couple of chances for them by doing that. And left us a wee bit exposed, but I thought overall, I thought the defending at the weekend was actually really good. I thought overall they defended really well and got themselves involved in some really good 1-to-1 duels.
Bridgman made a few half chances, nothing spectacular, a few opportunities to score goals, and then the ball broke away in the middle of the park. I think it sort of bounced and ricocheted, and then it went through to Big Seaman. He's playing in the inside right channel. He runs through, and I'm thinking, quite a tight angle. Boy, did he batter it away, Bridge. Yeah? You're on mute, Bridge.
His pace was very high, very fast. I know he's normally quite quick anyway, but he seems to be hitting a great stream of form for himself. So long may it last for him. And yeah, I didn't think he was going to get. I thought he was going to try and find somebody square or something like that. But see, when he just smashed that ball, and that goalkeeper had no chance with it. No chance at all.
Good goal, good finish, Linda.
Yeah, brilliant goal. He is fast, isn't he? And he's powerful as well. And he's just a guy that's just on form. He probably thinks he's going to score a goal every time he plays now, Ox. And sometimes that's what happens with forwards, isn't it? But yeah, he tucked it away nice. It might have been Dessers. It was maybe square, but he just thought, no, I'm having this shot myself.
Were you being facetious when you said that, Linda?
Not at all. I'm just glad you took the shot yourself.
He reminds me a lot of Jaffa, Seema. He's slow to get going, but once he's gone, he's rapid.
You said what happens in Spain would stay in Spain.
He has said that a number of times. I can witness that. Yeah.
I was talking about the time we walked down Gardner Street in Park.
It was a sweet strike though by the big fella. I think it was their goalie, Ox. It was from a kick out. The ball kind of bounced about because we reacted first, which was something that was consistent the whole game, right on the front foot and winning first and second balls, and getting in and about the challenges in the middle of the park and stealing almost. And we done that on Saturday quite consistently. We stole the ball off them and created chances. But I mean, off at the pace of Big Seema is ridiculous, and you know, I mean, I think is that 9 goals this season he's scored already.
Yeah, 9 goals. He's doing all right. The great point of Jaffa makes, Linda. The best example of that was when Tav stole one in front of their forward and played the ball through to Lammers. Yeah.
Yeah. Aye, they were just the tempo was. I mean, it wasn't obviously, a high tempo for the full 90+ minutes. There was times where we did drop off a wee bit, but generally, there was definitely a few instances like that where we nipped in and we were really on the front foot. It makes a big difference that as well, doesn't it? Doesn't give the opposition any time to settle down into their kind of game either, Ox. But no, it was well won by Tav.
So we get the goal and everybody's happy, but we know we need another goal. And then the ball comes through, and I think there could have been a foul with Rangers, and the referee would pull on, and then there was a coming together. Lammers got the ball and nicked off the player, and they're looking for a foul. It breaks the young Raskin just, I would say, about 25 yards out, Jaffa. Yeah, 25, maybe a wee bit more.
Aye, maybe just a wee touch more than that, Ox. Aye, just one touch, and he let a shot go right into the bottom right-hand corner. Sweet strike. And the goalie again was, I don't know if he was unsighted or that, but it was a lovely finish, Ox. It was a really clever finish. And it was a great time to score, wasn't it?
Ended up right in the corner, right in the corner, just outside the goal. We couldn't get to it, so that changed the whole mood, Linda.
Yeah, because as you say, we needed the second goal, and it was just, as you said, it just takes the sting out of the game a wee bit, and it kind of it deflates them, and it was an excellent time to score. And then when the goal went in, Raskin celebrated, and then you seen his face when it went to the VAR. And he's probably thinking, oh, my first goal's going to get chopped off. But I think you're right, Ox. VAR had a look at it. There was no foul. The referee was right. And VAR didn't think there was anything wrong with the goal at all. So, well done, wee Raskin.
Yeah. To improve his game, Jaffa first. He would need to add goals to his game. Yeah, so if you can start scoring outside the box, he was involved in couple of decent efforts at St Mirren, so all of a sudden that positivity in his game is a big asset, mate. Somebody plays the game like him, maybe comes in with 6, 8, 10 goals a season, mate. That's a big thing in the team if you can give yourself something like that, if you can get even half a dozen, Jeff, at that.
Absolutely, Ox. Yep, and and again, I think it was evident both Lundstrom and Raskin on Saturday were definitely pushed up, Ox. I mean, the two of them did put in a lot of miles, and they were really on the edge of the box on quite a number of occasions throughout the whole game. But I'm pleased for Raskin, and that only demonstrates that he's got that in his game, Ox. And listen, I'm absolutely sure that Big Phil knows that. That he's got. I mean, he'll know that young lad, and he's probably watched him coming through. And he'll know him inside out. So again, because of the two of them with a Belgian background, you've got to hope that Big Phil can get the best out of him, Ox, haven't you?
Yeah. It was a good goal, right time to get it. We deserved to be at least one, maybe 2 goals in front. We were a better team. We were more lively, creating more stuff without making hundreds of chances, Linda. But we were a better team, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree, Ox. Definitely. I mean, Hibs had come into the game on a bit of form themselves, I think, hadn't they? Their new manager, and they had did some good results. I think they'd come back to 2-2 in the Edinburgh Derby, so they were getting topped up a wee bit. But definitely, we were by far the better team in both halves.
So, Bridgeman, the mood, you could feel the mood improving in front of your ears, eyes, whatever you want to say, yeah?
Oh, yes. The players were well happy compared to what they've been watching. And I dare say that some of the games we haven't been really that bad, but overall we've been pretty poor. In this game, I think they really enjoyed seeing the manager there, suited and booted. It really makes a big difference, somebody with a bit of looking smart and getting onto the players, get going, that kind of thing. Because all these wee things matter, and he's proven that. And the players responded. I think it's very good of him, really good. So I'm really happy with it. I'm really, really happy. and I'm sure the whole Scotland was the same as me. I never heard anybody moaning and groaning, you know.
Not even Mrs. Bridge.
Not even Mrs. Bridge, no.
Bridge, man, read the messages, and I'll come back to you. Aye, Linda, the mood improved. You could feel it, yeah?
Yeah, definitely, Ox. I just think, you know, from what we've been through, particularly, you know, the start of this season, it was nice to get the first goal too. You know, we've lost the first goal in a number of games, and we just wanted. I mean, we know he said himself he's not a magician, but what we wanted to see was just a wee bit of tempo and a bit of desire, didn't we? And we definitely got that in the first half, and they looked up for the game, and you just didn't think that Hibs were going to get back into it, Ox. I think you didn't feel overly confident, but I think that's the first time. You know, I don't know if we've been 2-0 up at Ibrox so far this season. We probably have, but it was a very comfortable 2-0 lead.
Not half time, no. In the league, we beat Livingston before, but it was 3 late goals, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that, Ox. I didn't think we'd been 2-0 up. Definitely not at half time, no.
Yeah, Jaffa, I'm thinking myself at half time, we've played decent. We've not been outstanding, let's be honest. We've got to be fair. You know, I didn't think Lammers was too involved. I mean, I know he was involved in the second goal and he had the pass through right. I didn't think Scott Wright looked fit. Looked slow mentally and got a couple of times. And I know I'm splitting hairs here. But overall, it was a decent performance without being outstanding. I'm thinking myself at half time, the third goal's a big one here. If we get a goal, we'll really settle. We'll take the steam out of them. But if they get a goal, the whole mood will change. So we come out in the second half and we actually played better, Jaffa.
Exactly, Ox. And I had exactly the same thought myself at half time. I thought, right, what's the second half going to look like now? Because I know we've said a lot on the show and amongst all of us on the panel, you know, getting a 90-minute performance. A lot of callers have come in and said that. And I think on Saturday, Ox, I think that was as close to a 90-minute performance as this season, excluding Real Betis, which was a second half performance, incidentally. But they did, Ox. I thought the second half we were better. And I thought we're ball retention again and winning second balls, getting involved in it, that nipping the ball, stealing it, you know, really pressing them from the front up. And I will commend the front players, Ox, that they did do their job on Saturday. They all got involved and they were all harrying and pressing, and they were pressing as a team. The whole team was, you know, even the guys at the back. Yeah, I thought Golson was good in the second half and Saturday as well.
Was he moving the ball quicker for you, Jaffa? Was he moving the ball just?
Yeah, he was, Ox, and so was, you know, even Tav as well. Wasn't he taking as many risks? And I thought John Lundstrom had a decent game as well, Ox. I thought there was a lot of good performances in there without being brilliant, you know, and again without going over the top. But in the second half, I agree with you totally. The second half performance started really well, you know, for the first 10, 15, 20 minutes. In the second half, I thought we were really, you know, there was only one team going to score a third goal, and it looked like us.
I agree, Linda. I agree. We then started playing some decent stuff. To be fair, in Hibs, they were trying to play. They were playing a game. They weren't being defensive. It wasn't 10 men behind the ball, and you could feel the third goal was coming. It was only a matter of time, Linda.
Yeah, definitely, Ox. I think that's kind of Hibs' style, isn't it? They don't really play defensively any of the games that they play against. You know, even us and. Both sides of the Old Firm, they do try and, you know, come out a wee bit and play. But, you know, the third goal was coming, and as you said, we did have a couple of chances before Steamer got his goal, didn't we? Was it? Did actually Lammers hit the post?
Aye, he should have scored. He's got to score. He needs a goal. He needs a goal.
I can't believe he missed that, Ox. You don't want to be overcritical, but. He's got a big wide space, open space to the left of the goalie as you look at it.
It was like a straight blow into the middle pocket. People miss him sometimes, Linda. Don't think I don't know. Don't think I don't know.
Not very good with the middle bags, but anyway, that's another story. But no, Ox, see, really, all joking aside, Ox, he's got to score that. It's a really...
Ultimately, he never hit the target. He hit the woodwork. It's not on target. You're missed.
Aye, it was a bit of a shocker of a miss. He should have about half a dozen goals to his name this season so far. Ox, the chances that he's missed.
100%.
He needs a goal for his confidence, Bridge.
Yeah, 100%. I agree 100% with Linda says. You could see he was trying really, really hard. And well, we did it, didn't we? You're in front of goal and you have a dig and run forward, so you think you're putting it inside the post. It's a damn thing, But the guy's got to come good. I've just said this a million times over the last couple of weeks. He's definitely not match fit. He's not got his coordination yet, but it was close. It was very close. And again, a couple of games and he'll start scoring. I'm sure of it, because he gets himself into really good positions like he did at the weekend. And my goodness, the whole of Ibrox thought that was going in. No, unbelievable stuff.
If we're having a go at Lammers, then we've got to admit that he then made the second best pass in the game. Jaffa, when he played Dessers in the way, the direction, everything was right about it. He played Dessers in, he cut back inside, and there was a bit of stramash, and then Seema does what Seema does.
Just busted it, didn't he, big man? But yeah, you're right, Ox. That was a good pass with Lammers. He did spot it and he carved them open. Great weighted pass, put Dessers through. I mean, to be honest,
second best pass of the match, Jaffa.
Second best, aye. The best one was yet to come, wasn't it? But it was. I think it was a penalty. I think it was a handball. It was going to be a penalty anyway. But Big Dessers just spun in a sixpence, didn't he? And absolutely busted it, which was a great finish again. He just doesn't. He doesn't score. Every goal he scores is like really nice on the eye, innit? Big Seamer.
Different. If you look at all his goals, if his agent's putting his DVD, his YouTube goals together, he's got some good goals, isn't he?
I think they caught a reel now, Ox. I think they caught a reel.
DVD, where did that come? We meant to say Betamax, Linda.
Betamax.
Last for the past them, isn't he?
You still get that collection, Jaffa?
Oh, aye. Oh, aye.
They're special.
But he's some of his goals, as you rightly say, Ox. That, I mean, think back to that header. I mean, I know it was a crap game, but over in Limassol, the goal was a beauty.
Aye. Good finish, Linda. Yeah, good finish. But at the time, come on, Dessers, put it in the goal. You need a goal. Come on,
And the thing is, Ox, as you say, a brilliant ball from Lammers. It's easy to say this when you're sitting in the stand with, but why does Dessers then cut in and take it on his left foot? Why does he not just slide the ball in, as he's running onto it? But anyway.
Answers in the back of your postcard, Linda.
I know. Honestly, if he's listening, can he phone in and tell us? Oh, but no, Jaffa's right. Seema just turns in, he just absolutely smashes it in. And you could see Dessers kind of going to celebrate with him as if to say, God, I can't score today, but just as well you're here, But fantastic finish. Brilliant.
100% there as well. Brilliant.
Yeah. Good finish, good finish ultimately with Big Seema Bridger for the third.
Yeah, brilliant. The one when Dessers, the first time when he came in and he turned obviously trying to beat the goalkeeper. But my goodness gracious, why on earth he cuts to his left? Because he's bad enough with his right foot. His left foot's no much better, I'll tell you. But anyway, he cut across. But I have to say, there was an awful lot of laughter just broke out in the court when he did that. But, but seriously, I thought he was very unlucky because he got a cracking shot in, and it was a handball. It looked like a handball anyway. And then, of course, Seema did the business, the rebound. Fantastic. Great goal. Great goal.
Before we move on to the highlight of the match, which was football played well, very simply but brilliantly. We better get these phone lines open, people, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't realise the time. Must have been thinking about your Betamax tapes, Jaffa. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, come and give us your initial thoughts on the manager's first game. Come on, right, we move on to the fourth goal. So we've made changes. We've got Cantwell on the park. At the time he was on the park, Linda, he was the best footballer on the park by a country mile, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. Aye, we need to keep him fit, and hopefully, he'll start to build up his match fitness, because it was quite a bad injury he had. But that pass is just, it was just unbelievable, wasn't it? I think they said in the RTV commentary when I saw the highlights later, probably Cantwell was the only one Ox that probably seen that pass into Dessers. And you were just hoping and praying that he did it justice, Ox.
No, I thought Fox was good at making passes, but Jaffa, that was brilliant.
It was sublime, wasn't it? It was brilliant. Just it was just dark. It was magic. It was brilliant. And to be fair to Big Dessers, he did do it justice, didn't he? Because he got a big dose of composure, and he just waited for the players to move and the goalie to take another step forward, and he just slid it through into the corner, and he did it. He got his goal, and but the pass, Ox, as you say, it was brilliant. I mean, that was worth the entrance fee, and I think he had a wee pull out of the sky before it, didn't he, over on the touchline?
Oh yes,
Cantwell.
That was absolutely brilliant. I don't know if you've got another player who could do that. Yeah, I'm struggling to think. Thoughts?
Yeah, he was. Sorry. Go for it, Bridge.
No. Carry on, please. Carry on.
Aye, it was brilliant, Ox. It was great, and he really is. He's got everything, Cantwell, and as Linda says, getting him fit, Ox, and getting him in our team is critical. You can see. He can make that team tick. He can be your. He can be your everything in the team, Todd Cantwell, because he has got it all. There's no two ways about it. And it looks like he loves playing for our club, Ox, and that's a great combination to have. And when you get a player who's really, really happy and want to be there and busting a gut, that's worth it's worth so much in modern football. But Cantwell, yeah, it was great to see him getting on the park and great to see his contribution.
Aye, Bridgeman, fourth goal.
Just, when you think about it, I don't know how long he had been on the pitch, maybe 5 minutes when he made the pass. I think I said he's the man of the match because of the pass. And that was just wonderful. Some absolutely fantastic pieces of football from him. And he owned that pitch. He owned the pitch. As soon as he walked on, he owned the pitch. And they went for him and they tried to clog him a couple of times, as they do. Poor players in the opposition. But seriously, that guy has got something about him that Rangers haven't seen in a player for a wee while. That pass, unbelievable. And I take my hat off to Dessers. Dessers moved about 10 yards from right to left, and got himself in that position. He created that space for himself, and Cantwell didn't he? He didn't let him down. What a wonderful pass. And I like the way he sort of held the ball and let the guy run to the position he was going to run it, and then not like them straight in the net. Loved it. Just loved every minute of it.
Yeah, I think Cantwell actually done many defenders with the eyes because he kept moving the other way.
I think he did. He said the four of them as Bridge usually says, they were away for the subway bridge, four of their defenders.
Exactly, absolutely. That was class. The guy got class, and I'm not saying he's the only one we've got with class, because we do have some good players. They just still need to shine, and that's what's going to happen in the next few weeks. Next few weeks are going to shine.
So, Dessers, nice finish. Let's be honest, we've criticised the guy, but you've got to give credit where it's due, Linda. It was a nice finish.
Yeah, and you were just pleased that he actually got the goal. He did deserve, a goal for his work rate, etc. I think the manager said that, didn't he, in his presser? If he hadn't scored, he might have still had a good game. But I think as a forward, Ox, you're normally judged on your goals. So I think everybody in the stadium was delighted for him, and he got an ovation, a proper ovation when he went off as well. It made a change from him getting booed.
Yeah, when he scored the goal, it looked togetherness in the squad that we're maybe not seeing, Jaffa. And I don't want to be critical of the previous regime, because whether it's their fault or not, we'll never know. But the players looked pleased for him, and there was a togetherness that, look, I've not seen it all season, if we're honest.
No, and you're right, Ox. There was a lot of that throughout the whole of the match. I felt for the beginning, the intent, all of the players. It was a team performance, and the manager keeps referencing that, Ox, that we're all one, and the team have got to play as one. And he said that in his presser afterwards. He talked about goals and stuff. He was like, I'm not really bothered who scores the goals, because at the end of the day, it's the team, and we're all involved in it. And if he can build on that, Ox, and he can get that kind of attitude in the dressing room, and it clearly looks like he's got a good foundation to build from. That's great camaraderie, and the players all did. And I noticed Big Dessers was on the park at the end milking it, and at the end of the day, these guys have got to do that. He did. Linda's absolutely spot on. His work rate was absolutely tremendous. And if he can get his fitness, his own personal fitness, a bit better and a bit sharper, I do think Dessers is potentially going to play. He's going to be a player for us this season. I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to score his 20 or 30 goals. I don't think he's that good, Ox, to do that. But I certainly think he can be part of the team, the pool that plays. He'll play a lot of games for us. I just think he will. And I think probably, Big Philip Clement, I think probably sees him and knows him. Again, he's played with him in Belgium, so he'll know his qualities, and hopefully he can get a bit better out of him, Ox. But it was a good finish. You can't take it away from the guy. His goal was good.
Okay. Come and give us your thoughts. 0141 356 1972. Man of the match, Linda?
I'd probably say Seema for his two goals and his overall play. I just think it was probably one of his best performances, since he came to the club. And actually, when you think about it, Ox, over the last, since the beginning of the season, he has been one of the signings that have made a bit of an impact. And he's been playing reasonably okay and scoring goals in a team that hasn't been playing well. So you'd like to think that he can maybe even kick on further, Ox, if the players round about him start to get a bit of form as well.
Yep, I would disagree, Linda. Jaffa?
Yeah, Seema as well, Ox. But incidentally, a wee note to Rid fan as well. I thought he did a decent game when he came on. He didn't start too well, but the second half in particular, I thought he did a decent game, Ox, and he did link up quite a lot with Seema. But I think Seema with just the two goals and his contribution, absolutely man in the match. Yep.
Bridgman?
I'm slightly different from the others. Say it with tongue in cheek, I go for Todd Cantwell. Just for that 10 minute spell, it was just marvellous to see. But I think Rashkin was excellent. Scored a great goal. I thought it was a really good game. But what can I say? Everybody says that Ridvan had a smashing. He did very well, but Seamer scored a double. You start to think, who am I going to get to? I think we have to get to me. It'd be Rashkan in general, but I'd get half it to Seamer and a wee drop to Todd Cantwell. That's just brilliant, just brilliant. What a player! We'll get him wrapped up in cotton wool, please.
I enjoyed Cantwell's cameo, if I'm being honest, Linda.
Yeah, and also it was probably good man management as well, maybe from the manager, because sometimes some managers will start somebody that's coming back, but we all thought that he might start him because the players that were available, some of them just hadn't been playing well. But I think it was the right decision to bring him on when maybe at a time when the games I think he came on when it was still just the 2-0 right enough, but maybe some of the pace had gone out of the game from the Hibs perspective. But no, he's a fantastic player, and as Bridge says, we just need to wrap him up in cotton wool and keep him fit.
Was it only me? It was disappointing we never rattled in at least another couple, if I'm being honest, Jaffer. I know I'm picking holes, but yeah, we were that far in front. It could have easily been there.
It could have been Hawks, aye. No, I think that's a really fair point, to be honest with you. I don't think that's unfair at all. I'm not picking Hawks. Because listen, you what about the Lammers chance that hit the post, and there was a couple of other real clear chances that we should have scored from. So and with the balance of play, 6-0 at Ibrox against Hibs wouldn't have been a bad performance. And that's the kind of target, Ox, that we've got to get to. That's the short-term target, because we've got to put teams to the sword, and that'll breed the confidence that will breed within the pool of players will be unbelievable. And it's great to hear Bridge there saying picking 3 players, and I think that's the first time this season I've heard us even say that there was potentially 3 players that could have got man of the match on Saturday. And that speaks volumes for me, because that shows you the kind of team, the level of the performance of the whole team, and that's what we expect, Ox, as fans at our club. We want that performance week in, week out, don't we?
Yeah, Linda, what did you see in the tactics? Tweaks, moving the ball back to front slightly quicker, midfield knows having it for so long. I don't know what you thought. Yeah,
I think you're right with that, Ox. There wasn't as many sideways passes. I thought Lundstrom played slightly higher as well, so he's not getting sucked into this whole thing where he's passing the ball to Golson and Suter, and then he's not doing anything else with it. Did you think at times it looked like maybe like a 4-4-2 as well? You kind of felt as if Dessers and Seamer were playing sort of close together at times. And I didn't think that Tav was bombing up as much either in terms of up the sort of the wing a lot. And I just felt that the shape looked better, and the players kind of looked as if they knew what they were doing, Ox, if that made sense.
Yeah, keep it simple. Jaffa.
Absolutely, yeah. I think all of that. I think that's exactly what they've done. Linda, I think they had Lundstrom and Raskin further forward and not turning back and been more direct with their passing. And then, interestingly, I noticed from the starts at the weekend that our possession, we've always had this huge possession, but not really been doing a lot with it. We actually had almost like an even possession with Hibs. It was about a 50-50. And I think that was because we were taking more chances, especially in the forward areas. If they don't come off, just keep trying to do it again. And I think I hope that's going to be a tactic as the team grows and they spend more time together on the training pitch, and the more time the manager can get with them. But there was the small tactical nuances that was there, Ox, what seemed to work on Saturday. Obviously, they worked. It was a much more front foot performance.
Bridge, do you pick up any tweaks?
Actually, no, I didn't. I was just so happy the way they played, and I think, how can we say? I think you know, my whole mind is just set on the short time that Cantwell come on. Everything seemed to change. It came on and he was the man, give me the ball, blah, blah, blah. And all the rest of the players were just loving it, in my opinion. But I never got a chance to sort of come in on if we have scored more goals. We most assuredly have scored more goals. But may I say, we were up against one of the poorest referees in the league. There you go. A man that does not like to give Rangers any decisions at all. Shocking.
That's what, I don't often say this, and people are listening to the show know I'm maybe different for you slightly, Bridge. I don't go on about referees that much, but a 4-0 victory, and I do agree with Bridge. I thought the referee was awful, Linda.
Yeah, Robertson.
The pulling of the jersey, the two players who got booked in the second half had pulled jerseys in the first half. Yeah?
Yeah. Cantwell with one where it was his jersey and his shorts and everything else that was getting pulled. I don't remember him ever having a good game. You know, when he's refereeing for Rangers. Was he the one that disallowed the goal in the Old Firm game as well, Ox? Yeah.
Yes, the man of the band.
Yeah. And do you know what? Sometimes you have got to call out the referee, even if you do win convincingly, because sometimes if you don't, people say it's a bit of sour grapes. But no, at least they didn't disallow the Raskin one, because sometimes with that guy Robertson, if there's a chance to disallow a goal, he'll go and do it. But I suppose we better give him a bit of praise for that. But overall, I agree with you and Bridge that he had a relatively poor game, Ox.
Jaffa?
Ox, you know my take on it. I mean, I'm probably a bit more cynical than most. I think there's certain elements of that structure that are most definitely at it, and that's the best. Me being polite, the way I can say it. I often say the word dark arts. I think they're cheating. I think there's cheats within it. And they tried everything with that Raskin goal, and that was never a foul. It was never a foul. And to even contemplate going to VAR, and that's the referee that's causing that on the pitch, because he's talking to them. And for me, the only way that we can get probably this eradicated is to get the referee's commentary like they do in rugby, so it's vocalised in the stadium, so that we can all hear what it is that's going on and what they're saying to each other and who's instigating it. And I think that was an anniversary today, I think, of 12 months today that VAR came into Scottish football. And I think, in all honesty, Ox, it certainly hasn't helped it. It's only given them another layer of re-refereeing certain games. And, you know, and it happens regularly. And it happened again yesterday in their game, the exact same challenge that we got a foul for, that they got a foul against us in the Old Firm game. They got a penalty for it yesterday.
Yeah, well, get your point, mate. Get your point. But I thought it was awful. And the pulling of the jersey and that, I thought that was just an automatic yellow card one. But yeah, I
would agree, Ox. Absolutely. So, you know, technically, there should be at least been one sending off, if not two. They're getting put under pressure as well, you know, in terms of some of the decisions, because any time there's a favourable decision for us, and I'm not being, I hope I don't sound as if I'm being paranoid, but there's always the big hype in the media, and you know, the Hibs manager came out at the end and said he thought it was a foul, and I think he'll change his mind when he goes back and he has a look at it. You know, there was nothing wrong with Raskin's goal at all, and as Jaffa says, they shouldn't even have needed to go to VAR for it.
Absolute disgrace. They're showing themselves up for what they are. And what you said just a wee second ago there, it's just as soon as Rangers do something good, they absolutely pile in and they try to find the negative. And they nearly always do if they don't have to manufacture it themselves. It's rubbish, just rubbish. Why is that man still refereeing Rangers games? That's about 4 seasons now he's been refereeing Rangers games. Is he the only referee they can put in against it for Rangers? Just terrible, absolutely terrible. Sorry guys, that was a question. Doesn't need an answer, but
yeah, it was poor. And we're saying it when we won the game 4-0, you know. We're just looking for a fair crack, you know what? Jaffa? That's all we're looking for, yeah?
Just absolutely, Ox. No want anything different from any other team. Just want that department of the football structure, the SFA, to do their job properly, and to apply the rules of the game like they do in every other country. I mean, it always staggers me, Ox, that we as a club our size, we get into Europe like we are on Thursday night and a few weeks ago, and we have referees in the middle of the week who referees from all over the Central Europe. And I'm not saying you don't have the odd wee bad decision here or there, but 9 times out of 10 the European referees just referee the game and they ref it as per the rule book. Like you've just said there, if you pull the jersey and you hold a man back, it's a yellow card. If you go with your studs leading front, it's a yellow card. Going to VAR for that challenge on Saturday is, and the thing is, Ox, nobody's holding them to account. The media are not holding.
Does VAR not check every goal, Jaffa?
No, that's the trouble.
It does, Jaffa. I think VAR checks every goal.
But look, can I just say this, and I don't want to say it too much because I sound as if I'm totally anti-referees. We've got some of the worst referees in history have refereed Rangers. And half of them are on VAR. At any time, they're on VAR. And I don't know, how can we put the same referees who are rubbish, any ordinary league game or cup game, and put them onto VAR and expect the decision to change? I don't get it. I'm sorry, I just don't get it. So that's me.
Maybe Jaffa nailed it on the head. We had to explain it when you see it, what they're doing in the rugby, Linda. We've seen the Rugby World Cup. Yeah?
Yeah. There's never any problems at the rugby. I think they were one of the first to bring it into their game. And there's other sports use it as well. It's obviously just termed different. Football, there seems to be more controversy in football, and it's not just up here. It's obviously happening in other leagues as well. You see it in the Premiership nearly every week. But I think you're right, Ox. I think they do check every goal, but why did they need to put the big bit up on the screen saying that there was a possible foul? My understanding is that if the ref, if it's not a clear and obvious error, then they don't even need to. But and they just say no issue to the referee. But they obviously decided that they were going to check it. They thought that there was a possible foul. I think that's what we were all kind of annoyed about. But we just seem to be making a wee bit of a mess of it. You're right, Ox.
Yep. Yeah. Could be better. So, everybody pleased at the weekend, Bridge?
Oh, over the moon. Delightful. Great to get a 4-0 victory anywhere. But given the situation, and then we saw the nonsense at the end, just absolutely shocking. What is football coming to? What's happened in the football? Dear, oh dear, oh dear. We're very happy.
Delighted, Jaffa?
Absolutely delighted. Brilliant result. Great team performance. Great start to Philip Clement's Rangers career, and if the big man can carry that on, and that can be the early beginnings of the way it's going to be, then I for one am one delighted Rangers supporter.
Wonder?
Yeah, definitely. It was just a really good game of football to watch, and we're not asking for a lot, aren't we? Not Ox. We're just looking for some decent football, and we're not even looking for a top level performance every week. It would be nice to get it, but we're realistic enough. There's going to be games where you just need to tough it out, but we've been watching really awful games kind of nearly every week, Ox. That's been the problem. But I liked his reaction to the game as well when he was interviewed, Ox. He didn't get too carried away, and people were saying to him in the presser, the tempo was good, and what were you impressed by? And he just said that was kind of too much. It was a strong word to use, didn't he? He said something like that, and you just got the impression that he's thinking, right, it was fine, you know. He says, you know, but there's standards to keep, and they've got to confirm it and go out and show it every week. So I did quite like that part of his response, Ox.
Yeah, great start. We'll see where it takes us. I know you like a start, Jaffa, yeah?
I do like a start.
Right, okay, we've scored 17 league goals this season, yeah?
Okay.
We've scored 7 in the last 2 games.
Wow.
Is that right? Did we beat St Mirren 3-0, did we?
3-0, yeah, absolutely.
7 in the last 2 games, huh? So in the last 7 games before that, we scored 10. Therein lies the problem, huh?
Well, I think we often said that on the show, Ox, that was the problem. We were leaking too many goals at the back and not scoring enough at the front. And fundamentally, if you do that as a football...
We've got the best defence in the league, mate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
5 goals we've conceded all season, mate. Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And that's and if they can continue doing that, you know, and score at the other end, Ox, then you'll win more games than you'll lose. And at the end of the day, that's all we're looking for as Rangers fans, you know, is to win more games than we ever lose, and hopefully win and win trophies and win silverware, because ultimately that's how managers are judged at our club, isn't it?
Yeah, you see we're in the probably Linda.
Yeah, and I think in games, you know, we're still creating chances. I don't know if you guys agree. You know, sometimes people say, well, it's not clear-cut chances, but I think I've said often, said earlier, Lammers should have definitely about half a dozen goals to his name, and Dessers has missed some amount of chances as well, Ox. So I'm not saying that it would have meant that we weren't. It might have, you know, we might not have been so far behind in the league, but I know the performances weren't good enough even within that. But certainly, even Saturday, if we're being hypercritical, they too should have been walking off with another goal each anyway. But I just think if you're creating chances, you've got to put them away. And then if you do happen to lose a goal at the other end, then hopefully it's not going to make a big difference. I mean, you want to keep clean sheets, but certainly you need to score more goals.
Yeah, 7 goals in 2 games. Long may it continue, Jaffa.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if we carry on like that, Ox, you know, then we are on the right road to recovery. As far as, you know, getting the team on the park and scoring the goals that we should be scoring. And it was also good to see, Ox. I noticed yesterday a lot of the players were out for doing a B game. Obviously, I think the manager wanted to have a look at them, because I think young McCausland was a bit of a standout. I didn't see the game myself. I watched the women's game, but you know, there is a question in your head, and you're saying to yourself, do we want Scott Wright on the park, or do we want Ross McCausland on the park? You know, and that's a question. Hopefully, we'll get an answer to as we move forward in the coming weeks.
Only my opinion. I think young McCausland could learn a lot from Scott Wright. Barber.
That's just shocking, by the way.
It's the truth.
Oh, poor Scott.
Right, get yourself on mute, because we're going to have a tune.
I close my eyes and picture the lovely Ibrox scene. I never even think about the 40 shades of green. The lads that I will sing about, King William's chosen few, are a credit to our loyal club in their shirts of royal blue. Think that I can see again Davy Wilson on the wing, Miller, Brand and Henderson, the praises we did sing. Greg and Shearer played their part, and Slim Jim Baxter too. And they lifted many trophies in their shirts of royal blue. The Hibs, the Hearts, the Celtic, the two teams in Dundee, and the Northern Lights of Aberdeen don't mean that much to me. And other teams throughout the land have supporters, just a few. But the team we love is Rangers in the shirts of royal blue. Think that I can see again Davy Wilson on the wing, Miller, Brand and Henderson, the praises we did sing. Greg and Shearer played their part, and Slim Jim Baxter too. And they lifted many trophies in their shirts of royal blue. And they lifted many trophies in their shirts of royal blue. And lifted many trophies in their shirts of royal blue.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yep. Aye. Listen, I think everybody's contented, but if we'd have lost 4-0, these phone lines would have been buzzing, Jaffa. So let's get on here with a good phone on victory and tell us what you're thinking, particularly a new manager. Initial thoughts, Jaffa.
Absolutely, Ox. It'd be great if we could get some of the callers and hear what their thoughts are and what they're thinking, what they've seen over the weekend. And the initial impressions of Big Phil and what their take on it is. It's always good to hear a different perspective, isn't it?
Aye. Linda?
Yeah, absolutely, Ox. It would be nice to hear from them. Who was their star men? Did they agree with us?
I'm with you, Seema for me, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anybody had any sort of particularly bad game, do you, Ox? I thought everybody, kind of got past sparks. And you mentioned maybe, I don't know, Scott, right? I thought he had a couple of times he intercepted the ball and he drove up the park, but then he went off with a knock as well, didn't he? I don't even remember what happened to him in the game, Ox. But
he ran out of steam, Linda. He had the ball and he was played in and he had nothing left in the tank.
No, he had.
Yeah, and when it was played to him in the sort of inside right channel, Jaffa, if it's Scott Wright would have been hoping went through and maybe made something happen, but he just ran out of steam.
He did.
And they sat down and went off the pitch, didn't he?
He did, and I think it was about the 58th minute from memory. I thought 58. I think that was when Todd Cantwell came on for Scott Wright, because Cantwell had a good 35-40 minutes, Ox, which was really good in that respect. But that was my take on it. I thought Scott Wright had just run out of puff. I think he just ran out of oxygen. Which is surprising, and I think that's probably what leads the manager to say what he's been saying, Ox, and pressers, about how the fitness levels of the players, which is not great to hear. Let's not be kidding about it. We don't want to hear that our players aren't fit, but if that's what the big man's saying, that's what he's saying.
Well, I think he might be a lot of things, and only time will tell. But he seems as an honest individual. Linda, you want to sing the praises of the ladies' team. On you go.
Oh, it was just a terrific performance from them yesterday. Jaffa said earlier on that he'd watched the game, and I know we don't talk a lot about the women's football on here. I know we've had a couple of them on, you've interviewed them, Ox, but they needed to make some changes, and they've done that. And Malky's moved on, and they've got the girl Jo Potter, and they've brought in a couple of a few good players actually, and they're scoring more goals. Funnily enough, there's a theme there, isn't there? It was a terrific game. I thought they thoroughly deserved the win. They were the much better team, particularly in the second half. And if you've not seen it, go back and watch particularly the second goal that we scored. It was a brilliant ball in from the left-hand side, a great cross, and the girl finished it brilliantly, a great header. So pleased for them. Great result, Ox.
Jaffa?
It was a great game, I have to say. Linda, I did watch the whole match. It was Rangers come back. They were 1-0 down, come back in the second half, really strong. Scored a really nice equalising goal as well. Great composure. And the girl, Rio Hardy, who scored the winner, diving header in the middle of the box. What a goal it was. It was a brilliant goal. And as Linda says, Ox, if any of the Bears out there have not watched the game, go back and watch the highlights. Girls are sitting top of the league. Great going into an international break. And they're unbeaten as well. So Jo Potter seems to be who was a great player herself, incidentally. Remember her watching her many times for the England women's team. She was a fine footballer. She seems to be getting a stamp stamped on the women's team, and they seem to be playing a whole lot better. So long may it continue, and they can drive themselves forward in the rest of the league campaign.
Here we can watch them more part of their elbow bridge, yeah?
Absolutely. I never watched it. I haven't even seen any highlights, but obviously congratulations to them. It sounds like a really good game. Jaffa's description sounds good, and Linda's praise of them is commendable. And I can't think that. Just to get in there, you ladies get in there and do it for yourselves, because nobody else is going to do it for you, that's for sure. In this country.
Yeah. Congratulations, Linda. Congratulations, yeah.
Okay, well done, the Bearettes.
Here. Right, so things have picked up quite rapidly. Are we fickle, Jaffa?
I think that's probably a fair comment, Ox. I think fickle are just absolutely mental. We want to win silverware and keep our club going, striving forward. It's a fine line, isn't it, Ox? It really is a fine line. But in football, it's a funny old game, as a famous presenter used to say, and a famous footballer used to say, Jimmy Greaves. And it is a funny old game because it's our life for a lot of us, and it means so much to us as a fan base. That when we're not playing well, it really does affect a lot of people. Not in a very good way, I have to be honest with you. So when they're playing well and the club's back on the up, and the stadium was full on Saturday, Ox, which, let's not be kidding about it, was getting a bit worrying with some of the numbers and the empty seats we were seeing in the weeks before Michael Beale left. So good to see that again. Good to see the fans unified, and I think the manager again. I think that's a really smart way to look upon things. His take on that, Ox. That demand that a lot of people have come into our club and said, we're a demanding fan base, and he seems to have flipped it right over and said, well, if we're a demanding fan base, he would rather have that, because it's then holding the players, and it's pushing them on. And when you've got that behind the players, it is a powerful thing. They allude to it as the 12th man, and when the fans are behind the team, it's a great thing. So fickle, I don't know how you would. We probably are fickle, Ox, to be fair.
Yeah, that's maybe a bit harsh, Linda, but look, I've got to be honest, we didn't like what we were seeing. We looked a bit rudderless, and Michael Beale caught the brunt of it, and maybe rightly so. Linda, you put yourself out there as a star, and when things don't go well, you're going to take the flak.
Yeah, just because of what we were watching, it was. You've got to be honest and say it was absolutely awful at times. You go to the stadium, you want to be entertained. I mean, we all love our team, And that's what, I don't know, one of the players, it might have been Dessers when he was interviewed after the match, and he said that they said about half time, the manager said to them, look, we've got the fans back on side here, so make sure we go out in the second half and we need to play the same way. And they did.
Anyway, we've been joined by Kirky. Evening, Kirky.
Good evening, guys and girls.
Hi, Kirky.
Hi, Kirky.
I was just
Hi, Kirky.
on the manager there. I think he's going to be, it reminds me of Advocat, to be quite honest. He's going to be a very, very tough man to mess about with. Like, even watched him, well, even when the players went off, like, Barry was off, he spoke to every single player for 30 seconds before he even let them down the tunnel. And then they started playing this horrible football. They tried to play at the back after they're 2-0 up, and he went absolutely mental. You could see him, he had a go at them, and then they played it again, maybe about 2 minutes, about 90th minute or something, and the scare he gave some of his players, it's just, it looks like a manager is the best for him, will be the best for him. He's always wanting more, and don't get me wrong, that is brilliant in a manager, like, it really is. And it looks like a man I'll not be messed with. So I'm very happy with the start he's made, right? So just getting your thoughts on as well.
Was there somebody you knew in about Kirky?
Sorry?
Did you know anything about him before he came into the club?
Not really, no.
No, I don't disagree with that, mate. Before he was in the betting, I knew nothing about him, if I'm being honest. But you're right, he's made a good start. It looks as if they'll not be messed about. Jaffa, then Linda.
Well, I wouldn't have messed with him, Kirky. I wouldn't like about in the home odds off him, that's for sure.
He's a big boy, isn't it?
he's a big lad. And I listen, you know, again, without going back, you know, what's been happening in the last weeks or so, but, you know, who would have thought a manager standing at the side of the touchline managing the team and actually putting them into position and telling players no to do certain things that they're doing? I mean, I thought that's what a manager done, and I totally agree with you. I think it's refreshing to see him doing that, to putting the players back into position and getting the shape back into shape, and telling the midfield to do what they're doing and move forward and press at the same time. I think it's refreshing, and long may it continue that he continues to do that. But I think you know, like the question that Ox just asked there, I'm not going to lie, I'd never heard of the guy. I didn't, you know, I can't even believe that he played. You know, I think he play against us, Ox, for Club Brugge back in 92-93, which was a game I was at Ibrox. I don't remember the fella. I was his assistant, Stephen Van Hayden.
That was actually the Nisbet goal. Actually hit him in a way. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
The things that happen in life,
I mean, I can't believe it. I heard you saying that in the show last week. I mean, I was sitting in the Copeland that night, that goal when it bounced over the goalie's head and spun into the net. But I'd never heard it. I'd never heard him, Kirky. And I mean, when you look at, I was actually over the weekend there. I'm sorry, Saturday night. I was actually watching some of his old games for Monaco just last year. And I tell you what, he had that team playing. I mean, I know people said he left Monaco and he was only there for a year. He actually done really well with Monaco, to be perfectly honest with you, and had them playing some decent football. I watched a game with him against Metz, and he done. Some of the football they were playing was really, really nice to watch, really tasty, very aggressive. And if that's the kind of football he's going to bring to Rangers, then I can't wait to watch it, to be perfectly honest with you.
I'm the same as well, mate. Listen, mate.
Wonder.
Yeah, he's got a real presence about him, Kirky. As you say, you wouldn't want to mess with him, and you would want to make sure that you played well for him as well. He gives you the impression that I don't think he'll have any favourites either, and he won't be afraid to not play people, particularly when he's got a much bigger squad to choose from. You know, I don't think he'll be frightened to leave anybody out. I just like the way he's handled his pressers and the way he's spoken to the media, and you know, giving all the players a chance, and you know, he was never going to throw anybody under the bus anyway. Kirky, wasn't he? Not he had to give everybody a sort of clean slate, didn't he?
Yes, you're correct there, Linda, though, and I think he'll play use as well. Without worrying about them, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've been joined by Robert. Evening, Robert.
Evening, Oxshire, Linda, Jaffa, Brisbane and Kirky. I thought I'd come on to a wee bit of support, Oxshire. Hi guys and girls. Been enjoying listening to your chat tonight. Been really good. Oxshire, talking about the manager, I've got to be totally honest, right? So I'm in Edmondson House on Saturday having a wee couple of beers, giving my money to the Rangers as I always do, me and Gary. And when the team came on at 10-2 on the big screen.
Oh, wait a minute, Robert. I just want to correct you there. I was talking to Gary, and Gary told me he bought both rounds.
I can assure you, Saturday cost me over 150 quid for Gary. He never put it on his pocket wine.
I'm only telling you what Gary told me. Carry on, Robert.
Gary bought the underground tickets, and that was about it. Anyway, no, listen, so we're in Edmondson House having a good wee day. Loved it in there, absolutely fantastic. And the team came up at 10-2, and me and Gary and 500 other Rangers fans were in there all looked at each other and going, when we seen the lineup and Dessers and Lammers and Scott Wright was in the team, we're like, bring back Stephen Davis. That's what everybody was thinking, right? But you're right, Oxford, I'll give the manager credit. He got it right. So he got at 10-2, we all thought he got it wrong, but he actually got it right. So, and I'm liking the way this man's talking. As I said to you last week on the programme, I genuinely think we've got a proper manager. And if we can take the shackles off him and his hands are tied behind his back, that's what I'm thinking anyway. And we can back him come January and then in the summer. I genuinely think we've got a proper manager. And I loved the way he stood at the touchline and players were coming off and he'd have a wee word with them in their ear and stuff like that. And I liked the way when he tried to kick the ball back into play and he was shouting and all that. And we never seen that with Beale. And we never seen it with Beale, to be fair. I want a manager like that who's up and down the touchline, shouting instructions, encouraging his players on. So I'm liking what I've seen so far from Mr. Clement. As for the game itself, we won there an 8 or a 9 out of 10. We're not going to kid ourselves on. But no, we're delighted with a 4-0. Maybe it should have been another 2 or 3 goals. But no, we're delighted. And see the goals that we scored. Oh, the first goal, the big man left their defence for dead. Big Seamer. Oxford, I want to see him playing through the middle. I think that, because that's where the first goal came, be running through the middle, and I'd love Rangers to play him through the middle. And then you bring Cantwell on, don't you? And he's just a wee diamond, Well, what a pass! That was like Gascoigne or Laudrup or something like that. So overall, Oxford, I'm delighted, but I will come back with one comment. I'll come back with something a wee bit later on, if you're allowed to. Something I'm not happy with, right? But overall, delighted with the result and delighted with the manager.
All right. I think you're right, Robert. We're not getting carried away. We're just saying what the manager started well. It was maybe 6 3/4, maybe 7 tops out of 10. We know there's more to come, but the low base we were at before, Linda, it's improvement, yes?
Yeah, definitely, Robert. I mean, I don't know about you, but we were all trying to guess the team, weren't we? And we were thinking, surely can he play those two again, Robert? But what else did he have really available? You know, you would have liked to maybe see Cantwell start or maybe Danilo, but they just weren't able to do that, weren't they? Not. I just thought, Robert, the last time we played in the league at Ibrox, we lost that Aberdeen game 3-1. And it was like night and day. And you're right, we can't get carried away and there's still a lot of room for improvement. But to score 4 goals and 4 really good goals, it was just a bit of a breath of fresh air for us, Robert, I think.
Yeah, and Linda, here's a wee question for you. And I'm not going to have a go at the board, but I'll be a wee bit angry with them with the length of time it came to make it rid of him. They should get rid of him in the summer. But Linda, do you think Mr. Clement had been in there for the Aberdeen game, we'd have lost 3-1.
Well, you can only compare it to that game that we just watched in Saturday there, and my answer would have to be, I don't think we would have, Robert. But as I say, you've only got that one game to go with, and what he was able to do in a matter of a few days. And I don't know, somebody I'd read today as well, Robert. See that starting 11, 10 of the 11 of them started against Limassol, something like that. So look at the difference.
Exactly. And people will say, well, why weren't they doing that under Michael Beale? Why weren't they playing that way? Because we all know the guys had down tools because he was playing them all out of position, and Todd Cantwell no starting against Kilmarnock was alarm bells right away. And I'm more wanting to go about Michael Beale because he's in the past now. I'm angry with the state he's left my club in, and he has left my club in a bit of a state, and Philip Clement's got to pick it up. But I'm trying to be positive because I do think now at last we've got a proper manager, and give him a bit of time. And first he's going to be very hard, but give this man a bit of time, and I'm sure when he brings in his own players and he's talking about bringing in wingers, etc. Because we have to be entertained. We deserve to be entertained. And I'm sure that we've got a good team in this, man. I'm really, really confident about it.
Cheers, Robert. We've been joined by David. Evening, David.
David Gout.
Can't take your call, right? Just leave your message after the tone.
Oh, we were joined by David, but he's not there. He'll be back with us in a second, hopefully. Hi, I get it, Robert. I understand it. Look, everybody is an off game. You don't play well, you win. You have a stinker, you win. You get a last-minute goal. But we didn't see. We were rudderless, and I think it's gone now, Jaffa. We move on, yeah. We can't look back. What's the point?
Well, it's not going to do us any good looking back, and I know we've all had strong opinions on the way it all unfolded in front of us and what we were watching, but it's behind us now, and we've got to draw a line on it, and we've all got to get behind, and I know we will get behind the manager and the new manager if he's certainly going to produce performances like that at the weekend. And I think, Robert, what you said there really actually hit me. When you said about Todd Cantwell there, Robert, I think that was a great line you came out with there, and I've never really thought about Todd Cantwell like that. When you said that was like Gascoigne or Laudrup-esque, it absolutely was. See that pulling that boy out of the sky, and it's not the first time he's done it, and that pass on Saturday. And that's probably the best compliment I've ever heard MD ever give Todd Cantwell at our club. And I think it's true, Robert. I think the last time I ever saw MD doing anything like that at our club, I mean, I know we've seen some great players, but it actually was like that on Saturday. He's got that in his locker, and he can do it at will. Todd Cantwell, he does it without thinking if he gets that freedom in the park, without going overboard. But that's a great way of putting it about Todd.
Yeah, and Jaffa, know what it is about him. Know why we love him so much, because he'll geese all, he'll get there, and at times we're all worried about him getting into tackles and getting bookings and all that, because we know up here these referees just want to book him as soon as they get the chance. But know what we love about him, Jaffa? We know he's a football player, right? And we know he gets the Rangers. The way he talks, see that when I listened to that podcast last week, and he said, do you know what? No matter what happens from now on, I'll always be a Rangers supporter. Jaffa, that's no fake, that's no fall, that's no him talking up to make us feel good. That's somebody talking for the heart, and that's what we love about Todd Cantwell.
100%, pal. Couldn't agree more. I think you're right. I heard him saying that, and it is. He totally does get it, and I think that's why you get that performance level from him on the park, and why he wants to do stuff like that. He's found a resurgence in his football, because I know he was a bit wayward with what was going on down at Norwich, and where he's got to, and he's maybe just like the rest of his, Robert. Sometimes things in life change you, and he's probably come up here and he's thought this is as good as it's going to get, playing in front of 50,000 every week, and Norwich are a big club, but they're not anywhere close to the size of Glasgow Rangers, or nothing like it. So yeah, I agree with you. I think Todd Cantwell, if we can get him a run of games again and get him into that form that he started showing for January earlier on in the year, then the sky's the limit for Todd Cantwell. He is some player, and I would pay the entrance fee just to watch him myself on a Saturday.
Here, pal. Here.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What a great player.
Yeah, right, okay. Aye, Robert, we're going to bring Bob Jen in, but before we bring him in, get your negative off your chest, mate.
Oh, and I don't really want to, because with the score and the performance in parts, but I've got to be honest, here. I studied Cyril Dessers for 90 minutes up in the club day. I just focused my whole time, apart from watching the game, of course, and cheering the Rangers on. I focused on him. Oxford, he can't run, he can't header a ball, he can't trap a ball, he can't pass a ball. Can any of you guys on here please tell me what he offers us? And I'm sorry about this. I'm really, really sorry. I don't think he's a player. And I think if your manager was Harry Potter with the magic wand, I don't think he still would get a tune out. I'm sorry. I'm going to say I don't think Harry Potter would get a tune out with his magic wand. And I hope and I pray that I'm totally wrong. I pray, because I don't want to say that about any Rangers football player. But Cyril Dessers, I'm sorry, that guy's picking up £25,000 to £30,000 a week. So please, Rangers fans, listen to this. He's picking up big wages, and he's really getting as much back. I know he scored, and his goal was a good goal. He finished it well. But I'm sorry, Dessers will never be a Rangers player for me. Never in a million years.
You might be right, you might be wrong, but...
I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong.
You might be right, you might be wrong, but listen, we'll cut him a bit of slack for the weekend, Linda. The focus might go back on him on Thursday night, only time will tell her.
Yeah. Robert, I don't think there's many fans would disagree with you. The one thing I'm hoping that he might bring, and I know I'm going to contradict myself here because I've just talked about the fact he should have another half a dozen goals to his name, Robert, is that he might end up being able to finish. But I don't think he's actually got a lot of great numbers in his career either, Robert. I don't think he was a proven goal scorer in his previous clubs. I don't think he's ever been a 20-30 goal a season guy. I mean, I might be wrong about that, but I'm sure we talked about that when we actually signed him. And see, the thing is, right, we had a guy, I know Cholak probably might have wanted to go for personal reasons. Robert, I think he might have wanted to go, but when you look at Cholak, I just think I know he had a barren spell after he was injured last season, but he was a goal scorer, Robert, and I think he's a
16 goals, Linda. 16 goals, Linda, and he only played half a season.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway, we'll be joined by Bob J. Evening, Bob J.
Good evening. Well, I was quite impressed with the team on Saturday. So there we go. And if the big one comes out this week and scores a goal again in Prague and scores another one on Sunday against the Hearts, well, I'll be happy. That remains to be seen. The man did say that everybody had a clean slate. And there you go. He turned up Saturday and scored. Well, I know. You're right what you're saying, Robert. You're right what you're saying, and I agree with you. The proof will be in the pudding with the man over the weeks and the months. And then we'll see what happens today. Eh? But very, very pleased with the start. Very pleased with the attitude of everybody. It was a good one. There was a Hibs supporting friend of mine. You're going to laugh at this. He said Hibs gave the ball away too easily in the midfield, and they could have scored 4. Well, he must have been watching a different game for the rest of it.
I nearly choked in my coffee there, Bob Jeff.
Did you really choke on your coffee there?
Aye. We didn't get 4 chances to score.
Well, this is it. I tell him that. I said, Butland could have went off. I said, where coffee? Butland could have went off. I said, they wouldn't need to wash his strip before in there. I said, so that's how far Rangers were on top of them. I didn't expect to win 4-0 on Saturday. Did any of you? No?
No, I don't think we did, Bob J.
No, I don't think we expected to win 4-0.
And the finish, I was actually disappointed that only ended up 4.
Well, that's right, Oxford. I wanted more. And I knew that Mr. Clement wanted more. And I'm really pleased to start this man's been. It's 90 minutes and we've a lot to go and a lot to do before we get the team up to scratch. But it's a good start, and here's hoping that everybody just wires in, gets it improved.
Man of the match for you, Bob Chair? Who was the man of the match?
Man of the match for me? Oh, well, there were 2 or 3 candidates. I thought John Suter played well. I thought he played really well.
He brought the ball out of defence well, and it was comfortable on the ball, but I did pick up, I think it was 3 times, Bob Chair, he was underneath the ball headers.
He's not the biggest, is he? He's not the biggest.
That's his timing.
Right.
He's coming.
Yeah.
This is good.
I've noticed that about him as well, but he's a good player on the ground. I thought he played well on Saturday. I thought the wee turn played well on Saturday. There you go.
You shut your ears to this one, but he's coming too early for the ball, and he's just that fraction it early, and he's getting there, and then the ball's going on him. It's something he's got in his game. He's just got to time it slightly better. Jaffa.
Listen, Bob Jen, I know what I think is the refreshing bit about the weekend is the fact that we've all seen probably 2 or 3, maybe even 4 players that all had really good performances, and it was a great team performance. That's the bit. It's early shoots. We can't go over the top. I know that we're all trying to keep our feet in the ground and try to be pragmatic about it, and rightly so. But the early signs are if that's the manager's, if that's him getting them in early, and he can now get a chance. I mean, I know he's not going to get much chance to do anything much on the training ground. So anything he does do is just going to be looking at individuals' games and probably doing small tweaks, what he's already said. So we can only hope that he can really lay the foundations down. Bob Jen, I've looked at some of the games before with this fella, and he really seems to have a particular way of playing, highly aggressive on the front foot. And if that's the kind of football that he's going to play with us, then I'd be delighted. Just one other wee thing, Ox, just going back there to some of the Linda and Robert were chatting about there. And I do remember this because I looked back at his stats about Dessers, and I know it'll probably make you fall off your seat, Linda. He scored 21 goals for Feyenoord in season 21-22.
Wow. That's not bad. Not a bad return there.
They played 117 games that season, but one.
and Jaffa, see, to be fair, was the Conference League top goal scorer with 10 or something?
He was, Robert, 100%.
If we're going to be honest about him, yes.
He's obviously not fit enough.
That's what I think it is, Bridge.
To me, it's not just the fitness. You could see his fitness coming back in Saturday there. It's the coordination that's missing. That to me, that's the extreme on the on the match fitness. It's just getting things in right, and put your left foot first and your right foot second. That kind of thing. And don't fall over them,
Bridge, next week's November. If he's not fit, no, he's never going to be fit.
I'm saying, well, he's not been fit. And although we've been playing him, it's made him look in some games absolutely ridiculous, But I thought it came out that Saturday, and I thought it wasn't that bad. And his goal was a brilliant goal.
It was a nice finish, but well, if you actually look at the first goal and then you look at the one that when Seema scored, I'll be kind to him. He's lacking a bit of confidence, Robert. There you go. I'll be kind.
Yeah, you'll only get that with games.
And Justin, a positive note here, you're talking about your man of the match, right? And I think it's happened. You've had 4 or 5 players who you could have given man of the match. I know Nicholas Raskin got it. I don't personally agree with that because Seema for it all day long. Seema was man of the match. I thought John Lundstrom played well. I thought Tav, and I know I'm a cheerleader here, I thought Tav defensively was my best defender, to be honest with you. So I thought guys like Seema, Lundstrom, Tav, and actually Scott Wright done well at times, to be fair. So there was a few players up there that could have got man of the match, and that's happened for me.
Actually, it was the vintage performance. The best footballer in the show, as we rightly said. You still with us, Kirky?
Yes, right.
The best footballer in the show was, it was only a cameo, but Todd Cantwell was the best footballer we've got, isn't he? Kirky?
Aye, certainly is. The boy's class, like. And I think the way he brought that ball, ball out the sky, like, I think that was just for something's case, like, and he was just sending that a wee tweet to him saying, you can do this,
I was actually disappointed when that happened. I think he should have flicked it up and pulled it down. Really, if I'm being honest. Oh, you see me with a beach ball, Jeff, you know what I mean?
Oh, sure, I was at the game and I missed that moment there. Gary said, oh my God, look what Todd Cantwell just done. And I'm like, what? I'm too busy talking to the guy next to me. I actually missed that moment. I'll need to look it back.
Different class.
It was special. It was some touch. I see the Hibs manager was saying that Big Phil. I noticed he said this afterwards when he was in the safety of the Hibs dressing room, because he wasn't going to say it to his face when he done it. That he should have been. When he pulled the ball down and trapped it, he was on the park. He said we had 12 players on the park.
Try to get him sent off.
Oh, it's not took him long to get up to speed in Scottish football, is it? Your team beat 4-0, that's what you're talking about, Kirky, eh?
Yeah, it's terrible. Really, who want your manager sent off because he walked through the technical box?
Aye.
No, I suppose it's hiding his disgrace, maybe. That's what it was.
Your initial thoughts on the manager, is he lifted the mood for you, Kirky?
He definitely has. He seems to be a manager. I mean, I kind of get on about Dessers and all that, like, but how can a boy even think about playing football and there's 50,000 people booing him? His confidence must be. I think anybody would be scared to play in front of Rangers after they'd be all booed him. And he's trying to settle in a new country as well. I don't think he's a great player, but you might get 20 goals of him if he really fires up. I think he needs somebody playing beside him. And you get maybe Danilo or Roof playing beside him up front. I think he might score the goals, the boy. Like, his confidence must be absolutely shattered, the boy. Like, and I kind of feel sorry for him that way. It's not. I mean, maybe Bill wasn't playing him the right way either. So, but you're lacking confidence, you're lacking pace, you lack everything. You're overthinking things. Just like he said in his interview, he was trying too hard, maybe. And time will tell. Time will tell. That's all I can say. Like.
That was another interesting point he made. He sort of intimated that Roof wasn't fit to play Jaffa.
I heard that, Ox, aye. Which is quite staggering. I know he was referencing quite a few of the players, saying that a lot of the squad, just weren't fit enough. As I said, that I found that the most alarming thing that he said, Ox, to be honest with you, and probably a bit taken aback that he thinks that, and he obviously seen it now and he's had time to assess it. With his medical team and all the rest of it, and the fitness team that that's in place. So quite staggering, but as we say, there's no point in going back the way, Ox, because it's not going to do us any good, because we are where we are, and whatever he had 2 or 3 training sessions with the team last week, he's obviously done something, and he's got the players back on side. And if he's not going to stand for any nonsense after one, I'm right behind him on that. And if he's going to be an advocate, as you say, Kirky style, where he's quite strict and on timings and on time. I noticed the other thing he said, Ox, was about training times. I think he's going to change that, or he's looking at it, how they train and the times of the day we train, because I remember Advocate not 2 training sessions a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon.
Correct, Nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that.
100%.
It's also the physical element he said as well. They're wanting to be the most physical team in the league. It's just what he's wanting, and you can see he's a kind of man he'll demand that. Like,
right, Linda.
Yeah, and I think the point you made about Roof, Fox, he probably thinks that Roof is not fit enough to play the type of football that he wants from his forwards, because I think Desser said that he was told that he needs to work harder, and Roof just couldn't do that role just now. I mean, I just don't think he's got the physicality at all. But I don't think Clement's the sort of guy as well that will just bring Roof on maybe for a wee cameo, just so that he could maybe, get us a goal. Because, on Saturday he actually left Dessers and Lammers on for the majority of the game. Well, I think Lammers finished the game, didn't he? And, Dessers didn't come off until, the 80th minute, and at least he actually kept him on. So I don't, as I say, I think that the players that he's going to pick over the next 2 to 3 weeks will be the guys he think can actually do a job for him in terms of the way he wants to play Ox, I think.
Aye. Well, we're hoping Bob Jerry's not going to have any favourites, is he? He's come in, you broom, and you have to earn your right.
Oh, absolutely, you've got to earn your right, and I think this man will earn his right, by the way. I was pleased to hear him saying a lot of things like, as we're discussing here, the general fitness of the squad. And he was saying that too many people are getting injured here and they're lying for 4 and 5 weeks and then they're playing. They can't get up to speed like that. They need to be playing and training constantly. And he's absolutely right. And he's going to put changes to that. Because we've all wanted to find out why Rangers have got a constant injury crisis all the time. And it's went on for years and it's went on too long. And this man's picked up on it. And he's going to do something about it, but you've got a fully fit squad every week. I know that it's a contact sport and you pick up injuries, of course you do. But Rangers seem to have more than their fair share of them. So here's what we can do that, because that can only help the team if we've got everybody on the park fully fit every week. And this is why you've got a squad, of course, because it's a squad game. You can't win a league with 15 players, do you? But to have the squad, the majority of the squad fully fit all the time, is definitely going to help.
Aye.
That's another positive fact.
Yeah, if he picks up there's something wrong, he's going to deal with it, and it gets players fitter. They don't get the same muscle problems that we've had constantly for a while now. I am all for it. I just want to change the subject slightly. And I'll take this to Jaffa first, then Robert Wirral, and then Linda, then Bridge, and we'll go around the boys that's on the call. This is for Mr. Fox, who I was chatting to today, and he says to me, he happened to watch the EPL games at Aston Villa and Newcastle. If you like your teams that are on the rise in that league, and they're starting to play some decent stuff, particularly at home, but the crowd is right behind them for the minute one, and we know how special our ground can be and our support could be, and we have been flat and maybe negative because I think collectively they decided that they didn't like the regime that was running the team. So we've got change. So it's a new time to get right behind the team and see where we can drive and take it together. Jaffa, then Robert.
Absolutely, Ox. That's a great point. And I alluded to that earlier on about how special our crowd is and the fan base when we're all collectively, and we're all unified and we're in synergy with each other. And the stand, you can't, from a player's point of view. And I have heard players say this, Ox, and we've all heard, players that you've maybe known or through family or connections or pals or buddies. You've heard players saying that, just how special it is when the fans get behind you, when you're in the stadium, when you're on the park. And it absolutely is time to get behind both the new manager and the players. We'll always be of our opinions and who's going to be a Rangers player and who shouldn't be in the park, and that's just team selection, and that happens week in, week out. But in essence, I think it is time for us to try and push the team on. We've got a cup final coming up. We've got a lot of football to play for. We've got a lot of big games coming up. We're playing on Thursday night. So there's a lot of football to be played. I'm not giving up anything. I know some of the press would like you to, and we're only one game away and all the rest of it. There's too much football to be played for my liking, Ox. You can't write a league campaign off after 9 games. No chance. Not in the way I've been brought up as a Rangers supporter. So I'm for one right behind everything that's happening at the club, and I hope all the fans can feel the same way and get behind the team.
Robert and Linda.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you brought this point up, because I'm sitting up in the gods and the up the gods, right?
And the posh streets, Robert. So get it right.
And the club deck, right? So I can't really tell the atmosphere, but I kind of kept looking down at Union Bears, and I thought they were a wee bit quiet on Saturday, as the whole stadium was. And I said that to my pals on the feet, Alex Kelly and Blue Star and Andy Beleed. I thought the atmosphere wasn't very good, but that's maybe the Rangers fans because they're worrying. They don't know what to expect after the Aberdeen performance, right? But our fans are the best. They're the most critical, but they're the best. But I was a wee bit disappointed with the atmosphere and the stadium on Saturday. But you know what? I'll never criticise the Rangers fans because they've always been behind the team who went down the lower leagues in 2011.
I don't think Fox was critical. What he was saying was, if you can get behind the team and we can do it together, we can help.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that's and he's right. He's right what he says because you know what, we all need to know, get behind the team and get behind the manager. No more see this booing and all that, and see no the worst thing is Oxford, and we can't help ourselves because we so much want our team to win because that's the way we were all brought up. Oxford, you and me. All the years ago, we were brought up the Rangers winning, but see this after 20 minutes, if it's no going right, and then they start to go on the players' back, that's no going to do anything good. So we need to stop this after 20 minutes if we've not scored 1 or 2 goals. We go on the players' back, so that has to stop. But you know what? That's the way us Rangers fans are. We just want the best. We expect the best because we've been used to the best. And as the song says, we are simply the best.
Wonder.
I just think Ox were desperate for the team to play well and we're desperate for them to win things. You know, I think we do have to get behind the team, but they have to give us something as well. And I know what Robert's saying, that maybe it was a bit quiet at times on Saturday, but I think the team did give us something. You know, it's only one game, but it was a bit of hope for us, you know, because I think if it had just been the usual and we had maybe drawn the game or only won 1-0, I don't think we would be as, sort of optimistic. But I don't know. I mean, the up-and-coming teams at the point that Fox is making, you know, like I can understand that, you know, but our history is that we've won lots of trophies, but we haven't won a lot of trophies recently, and that's what we want, you know. You don't want to look too far ahead, but you know, I think we've all talked about that League Cup locks, and I just think if we can get us through that semi and get us to that final, I just think that would be a major thing for us this season.
Okay. Richmond?
No, I agree with what Linda was saying there. Like, as fans, I've complained bitterly that fans booing. I don't like fans booing at all. Not the Rangers team. Obviously, they feel frustrated and they've got to vent their spleen. But I just don't think it's right. I don't think it's right for the other fans, and I don't think it's right for the club, the team, and the club. It's just not right. However, the fans are going to do it. The majority of fans maybe no, but there's going to be some booing if we don't get it right and keep it right, you know. And once we get there, this manager will get it right for us by the sound of it and feel. And I'm sure everybody wants the same thing. I don't have any problems with my team getting beat, other than I hate getting beat. But we shouldn't be getting beat by some of the teams in our league, some of the teams that have beaten us. And I just think it's right. Get it right now. We should be okay. And if we can get a result of any kind over in Prague Thursday night, a draw, or even a sneaker win, that would be fabulous for me. Just utterly fabulous. That'll give us a wee idea what this man is about and what he can do. I'd be really chuffed. And then we can head into the Hearts game and see how it goes. That's what I want.
I think he's just one that plays bounce and so on, intimidates and helps drive the team on, and also makes the match day merit a memorable experience. Kirky, then Bob Chair.
Aye, well, fans can make you or break you, like, you know, this is what it is like. I mean, for the years I went to, I can't go now to I'm blind, but for the years I went to Rangers, I would never ever do. And I've seen a lot of bad games, like, but I think it's more frustration with the way that Rangers have been playing for the last 2-3 months. I don't know so much of the players are booing it. I think it's maybe more appeal. But I mean, it's bound to get to the players as well. But no, there's no better fans in the world than Rangers fans. Okay, we're critical sometimes, like, but I would never ever boo the Rangers, no matter how bad they were. But I mean, that's a sign of the times, and it's the way there's no way they can really get their point across. Because I don't think you'll get many. Don't think you'll get many boos with the new manager or his assistant, because they're both man managers, and I think they can really get that crowd back behind the Rangers. What we really need.
All right, Bob, Jeff.
Aye, a lot of good stuff there. A lot of really good stuff I was listening to. But there's a lot of people wish that they had a support the magnitude of Glasgow Rangers. We've got to be honest and frank about that there. Thousands of millions of people support the Gers. There's that many opinions, and yeah, my head's burning here with all. You've all been great with your opinion. I don't know where they come in my mind. It used to be a tactic you could read in the paper on a Saturday morning. Some of these clubs used to say, the most of them used to say, if we hold Rangers for 15 or 20 minutes, we know the crowd is going to get on their back, and that only helps us. Well, didn't get on their back. Get on the other team's back. That's what I say. I hear this morning, I don't know if any of you have heard that they're going to try and transform the crowd in Ibrox and make it like Borussia Dortmund. They've got that big bank of supporters at the back of the goal. They might try something like that. I don't know if any of you have heard that or no. But to me, that would help, and it would help the atmosphere. It would be great. But like I said at the start, in my opinion, there's a lot of people who wish they had a support the magnitude of Glasgow Rangers. A lot of them. And people never boo the Rangers. Any time in your life do you boo the Rangers? I never have, and I never will. No chance. I've stood shoulder to shoulder with some of them over the years, and they may are moaning in a broken down ghost train. So I don't know what they expect. We're a football team. We didn't win ever again.
Whoa.
If we can miss to them, we'll be happy.
They're moaning in a what?
They're moaning in a broken down ghost train. Right, okay.
It's a belter, Bob, yeah.
Linda?
That's true, though. I've heard some of them. They didn't deserve to support Rangers, some of them.
Oh, yeah. Well, Bob, you've stole the show tonight. We'll go to our morning expert, Robert.
Yeah. Yeah, Bob, George, you know, Halloween's coming up next week. Halloween's coming up next week, Bob, George. Asked my best pal, didn't he fell out with me. Asked him, could I borrow his face for Halloween?
You can hurl me about in a bar, Robert.
No, but listen, Bob, George, you're right. You know what? I know I'm the most critical Rangers fan out there because I love my club so much, right?
Yes,
you do. I've never went to a match and I've never booed any Rangers there. And I've seen some poor players pulling that blue shirt, right? But you can't boo them. And now is the time. We need to get behind this man from on, because he's a proper manager. I'm telling you, and I know how much I went on about Beale. I didn't want Beale, and I'm not going to go on much about it. But see, this man, I think this is a proper manager, and given time, I think he'll get us where we want to be, where we deserve to be, at the top of Scottish football.
All right, before we finish off the show, just a quick shout out. 30 years ago today, some of the Rangers family lost their life in Shankill Road, and we send our memories and thoughts to all the Rangers family that were affected that day with that tragic bombing. Right, okay, listen, we've reached that time of the evening. We're going to wind the show up. Kirky, always good to hear from you, mate.
Aye, always the best show in town, mate, and that's what I say. Excellent. Enjoy it all the time I'm on. And special wee thanks to wee darling Linda, like.
Wee darling Linda.
Oh, that's nice of you, Kirky.
Never said that to you, Jaffa, did he?
No, but he's got very good reason not to say that to me.
Cheers, Clarky.
There was one thing I heard, like that. What do you call him? Coman's favourite players, Scott Wright.
Right, Kirky. Nice to speak to you. Have a nice Christmas.
Good night,
All right.
Because he's got hair, yeah, it's maybe.
Cheers, mate. Speak to you soon. Bob,
Cheers, boys. Thank you.
The only complaint I've got about Rangers Radio is it doesn't go on long enough. It could go on all day for me. Linda, I liked your point, and you're right what you said. We are a wee bit success starved. Let's put that right, eh? I'm sure we will under this, man. Thanks for having me on again, oh.
I hope he says success starved there and I never picked him up, Ranger.
See, you can make words into wee other words in your own head, but we're all capable of that, and it can be whatever you want it to be.
Family show, guys.
Yes. Jaffa.
Yep, thanks for having me on, Ox. Great show. Great to hear all the Bears' points and be on with Linda and Bridge. And I think what Robert Weatherall said earlier on tonight about Todd Cantwell really resonated with me, because Todd Cantwell on Saturday was that good with those two passes. It was brilliant, and they won out the sky. Thanks for having me on, Ox. Best show in town, as Bob Jer says.
You're always brilliant, you know, mate. Robert.
Okay, thank you for taking my call tonight. And I'd just like to say to all the Bear and all the Bearettes out the other night, no matter how hard it gets, remember, when you wake up tomorrow, get a blue nose. Thank you, Oxford. Good night.
Cheers, brah. Linda.
Yeah, great show tonight. Good to be on with Bridgeman and Jaffa and your good Selocks. Good to get some callers in. Brilliant talking about Rangers, and so nice after you've got a great 4-0 victory. Fantastic.
Bridgeman.
No, they say what great show tonight. Once again, and thanks to everybody. Thanks to yourself, Oxford, and the two techie boys in the background. And may I have my apologies. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what the noise was coming from. I don't know what it was, but I wasn't doing anything different to normal. However, can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, listening tonight, massive game Thursday, massive, biggest game of the season. Everybody keep it going for the Rangers, because they really need us. Keep it going.
Cheers, Bridge. Thanks to Kirky, Bob Chair, and of course Robert. Thanks to Linda, Jaffa and Bridge for doing the show, Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Speak to you soon. Take it away, Old School Blue.